Hi guys. Somebody asked me previously how we manage the rice. In particular, his question was about fertilizing the rice. What do we use? Do we use chemical fertilizer, or do we use manure at planting, or what we put in there? Well, we do use chemical fertilizer at the start. We sow the rice into the fields after we've had, or when we're expecting the first rain, and then they go across and they spread fertilizer on top of it quite sparsely. It's not concentrated in volume, so that's a bit of a kickstart for the crop to get going. Now, I also said that what we do is part the way through the growing cycle, when it gets up to about knee or hip high, we go through and cut the rice. And we've already done that once. And by cutting the rice, what I mean is this here. We've got this here. At the moment, we've got Joke, who is Talani's nephew. He's the son of Talani's sister, and he's going through at the moment with the brush cutter, and he's over the other side there, but you can see the path that he's already been through. He's cutting that down to ankle height from what at the moment is sort of close to hip height. Well, you can see on him it's above knee, and he's cutting it down to about ankle height. And what that does is to promote more growth. So you're cutting the top, what do you call it, foliage, I guess, and consequently that's sort of reducing the draw on the capacity of the roots to supply nutrients, etc. Consequently, in that situation, that the root ball has an overabundance compared to of nutrients and water, etc., it's drawing from the ground, has an overabundance because it no longer has the foliage it had before. Consequently, what it does tend to do is the root ball spreads and increases, and it sends up lots of more new shoots. So for every plant that started off as single stalk, by the time we actually get to harvest period, it's been cut 1, 2, 3 times, and it is spread. It could be 10 stalks. So we're making the actual crop denser. We're consequently increasing the possible yield from that, well, from a particular rye. We're making it more dense, and it will produce more heads, so that means more rice, and so more bags per rye, which is what we're after, to get the best profitability out of it you can. There's not big money in rice, and for sometimes the cost of actually growing it, fertilizing it, cutting it, having it harvest comes so close to the actual cost you put in, or what you recoup when you send it to the mill. But obviously Thai people like to keep big portions, so they're eating their own rice. That is the instinctive background reason for doing it. They hope to make some money off of it. And people on subsistence economy, the people who are not particularly well off, do get some income from that, and it's important money for them. So where we're at it today is we've cut it. Would barely be a month, 5 weeks ago, and it shot up to almost this sort of stage and settled at that for a while. And I think that might be the indicator that Talani uses. When the growth rate slows, it's time to cut it again. So that's what's happening today, and there's quite a lot to do, but if you don't start, you never finish. So Joke is available at the moment, so we'll use his labour to do that, and that takes a bit of a load off of us. Talony's down in the distance there. Talony is putting in more mango trees. She loves mango trees, so she's sticking them in on the walkways all down there. How that's going to work out for us when they actually become adult sort of trees, or every growth level in between, I'm not quite sure, but we'll deal with that. Obviously it's what she wants to do. Yeah, so that's the story with managing the rice, while it's growing. We do you don't just sit back and watch it. It does have to be managed. It does have to be cut. There are times when Talony may decide it wants more fertilizer. We did that last year, but we did that not very long before harvest, and it shot up, and then we were a little bit late harvesting it, and we had some wind, so we had a lot of the rice was actually blown over in the wind. The heads were so heavy with rice that they couldn't support the weight, and a little bit of a breeze was enough to knock them over. But it seemed like quite devastating at the time, but the reality was that the harvesters and the guys who drive them are quite good. They managed to actually get under the fallen stuff and get it up into the hopper of the machine. So I'm sure, depending on how late you leave it, as the rice starts to yellow more and more, then the rice in the heads becomes less and less attached to the actual rice plant, and the slightest tap might make them fall off on the ground. If you get to that stage, you will lose quite a bit of your yield. You don't want it to get that far, but we were quite lucky last year. So that's all good. That's the story there, and I've got stuff to get on with now. There's always something going on, and we'll catch up with you in the next video. So catch you. Bye guys. Oh, don't forget to subscribe. Please leave some comments, ask some questions, and maybe I'll be able to answer those. Well, I'm sure I'll be able to answer them, and it might end up in another video where you can actually physically see the answer to your questions. So thanks guys, we'll catch you later. Bye.